shouldn't break the grass. It's so nice.
Yeah, dude, don't hesitate to do that. Got the idea.
Toe pull.
Yeah. Pretty good. It is pretty good though, isn't it? Good.
Andy, are you watching anything in particular on his first few swings, or just
Watching the whole thing in the ball. Yeah. I'll start moving in.
Hey.
High trajectory.
Right on. Just a little thin.
Yeah, touch spin.
It was close to, pretty close.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's laying the sod.
So, when you get that kind of shot, what do you think of on that? What makes that heavy shot? What do you associate that with?
Usually I'm trying to stay over the ball, so sometimes I can cover it too much, I feel like, and
So that
this
ball
arm,
push
that ball pushed.
was pushing fast.
Also steepness.
Tilt. So when you came down, you would have tilted and extended backwards, and the club would have came from the inside like this more.
So it's gotten into that too low.
Right, right. So you can see here how this was. You see here how at 9, you see how the lumbar, that see how this is back, right?
Right.
It should be back some. What I'm saying is that from the shoulder to the hip to the knee, the right shoulder would be back a little bit because the side bend and the extension get too fast.
Okay, so
So it goes. So when you finish, when you come through, you have a little bit too much extension and a little bit too much side tilt.
okay.
That will be the fatting.
And I also fight. This is a 7-iron, but
Yeah.
I also fight with the like a 3-wood.
Yeah.
That ball just dives left. It's a
Yeah.
hook all day.
Totally. So once you grab that 3-wood, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a post pattern left.
Yeah. I get it. I can see.
Except that one.
Right?
Right. So the janitor, the sweeping.
Exactly. So this is a little bit like Ramon.
no?
Raphael. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
A little bit
Raphael.
like Raphael, in that your hips are open and your shoulders are closed.
Oh yeah.
Right, so it goes.
Yeah.
You'll start to see the shaft when you do that. Stays
Oh.
really inside, right? So the right forearm to the shaft is the club's well underneath it. You see how shallow that's coming into the ball.
And that's why the path tends to be like 20 degrees in and
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
It's like,
Yeah.
and does it get worse with the longer the club?
Yeah. That droop, right?
Yeah.
The falling is harder to control.
Right.
So what I'm saying is you have a little bit too much extension in your hips out to the right.
So it's like
this.
is that like a thrust
Yep,
motion?
Right, too much thrust. Too much thrust. So the club goes out too much. So where's that exit going to be for the club?
That's way out, and it's
It's
probably gonna
be
have higher
ear.
arms.
It's going to be ear, right?
One,
Ear,
Wow.
right?
but
Yep.
one up, right?
Yeah, position 1 for the humerus.
Right.
And then if there's any supination at all there, right? It's going this way. Supination, this thing into the ground.
And that's why I'm trying to hold it on to it for dear life
Yeah.
half the time.
Yeah. It looks good, but so I would just say there's a little bit too much extension like this or thrust. The arm is too far behind.
So it's more so the bowler drill back.
Exactly. The bowler drill with the face back. The face back, right? Face back. Right, get it? Is always the piece that'll help keep the curve off.
The
So
face,
you-
the open.
The face staying square to the shaft or going this way. Remember I said yesterday if I wanted to swing the most out to the right and not hook it, I would have to have the most up and the most back.
Yeah.
So when you're playing, you're out there on the course, the first thing is practice, face back, like this. No roll.
No high arms, just more so rehinging. Or
If it's not even rehinging, it's keeping the face square by moving your arm around you.
Okay.
What's your face?
it does not deviate
Right.
from that.
And what I'm saying, so there's no supination there. So I'm not going. I'm going position 3, face back.
Okay. And so on the downswing,
Yep.
I'm gonna think trying to get
That's right.
that
That's right. As opposed to thrusting your hips and having your arms up like this, right? See how you have a lot of tilt back.
right.
Your shoulders will be turned more. Your arms will be down and across you like that. Feel
Yeah.
like, right? And the face will be backwards, so it's going
Face back.
as opposed to ready.
Yeah.
I like your swing. I like it, but I can see the big end out path, fat, you know,
Yep.
like that, the hook.
The biggest draws on the
Yeah.
planet.
Yeah.
The yes.
For for guys who are learning to play, building up, that's the way to be. Your good shots are really good like that. It looks beautiful. As you play a lot and get better, the size of the hook may need a little, and the degree that you're having to keep the face square is fast. It's hard to. The margin for error is not as big.
Right.
So it's kind of like you could hit 3 really good ones and hit 2 shots that are, way off.
There's almost with pulling this club out of the bag is always like
Yeah.
better off getting a 7-iron
Right.
and just chipping it up the fairway sometimes.
Yeah. We filmed this one?
Should I use this club or?
But yeah. We're just going to do a 3/4 shot.
Okay.
Just practice swing.
Guess I'm gonna without the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Put this underneath your front arm.
So that flies off the chest pretty good.
Go. There you go. Or do that. Will you film this one again? Okay, one more time. Do it all the way up to 10 on the follow through, all the way through.
Recorded that from the beginning.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, it's a lot more Mike Bennett.
Yeah. So you see how the arms are exiting lower than the club head there.
Yeah.
This is this way.
Wow.
So I want you to just chip one out there like that.
It's good to know that the long arms are not a problem.
Yeah. Nope. You got a tee?
I got one in here.
Okay. I got one here.
Oh. Do you want me to still keep the one in my
Yeah.
upper left?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Go. Ready? Good.
So just a chip shot like that?
Yep. Face back. Face back.
Oops.
So
I probably.
exactly.
Yep.
That's the bowler part of it. I'm trying to get to that by doing the arms.
Yeah.
So you, it's just like that was like.
Just dropping it.
Right.
More arm. Face back.
Chip it. 3/4 shot.
Ah. I can feel it wanting to drop right away.
Now do this one. Don't move your hips and knees. No tilt. If you want to take the tilt out, don't move your hips and knees. Just move your arms. Just punch this thing. You're just going to hit a line drive.
Okay.
Don't move it at all.
Just, oh, nothing. Just almost like static.
Total. There you go. No knee, no hip, no side tilt. Just pull your arm. Pull the 4 and 1.
Ah.
Okay, again.
I'm so addicted to that, I guess.
Nope. Do it again. Same thing else. Watch it again. Yep. Yep. That's the idea. Take that.
Another one?
Yeah. Foot back like a bowler. There we go.
Ah. And foot back. Ah. I feel like I want to
That's right.
keep crunching my right side.
So now this is different because that's coming down actually steeper.
Really steep.
Yeah. Which is why they're going to the right. And when you're coming through, your body's raising up and the club's going like the water hose, the shaft's raising up.
Right.
So I'm going to show you maybe a better way to practice is the way.
So we're going to drop the leg?
Yeah, we're going to go like this. So that way you should be inside coming down as opposed to just going like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want you to bowl this and keep your foot and hip back. Have your arms past. Yeah, hip back.
So,
Yeah.
right there?
No.
Or
Hip closed.
hip closed. Oh, more closed.
So the foot is closed, but the hip, watch the hip. The hip is also closed.
Ah.
And the shoulder is square.
Okay.
There you go.
So there's a little bit of resistance there.
Yeah. Shoulder is square. There you go.
Oh, that felt better.
There.
That probably was a little
Do it again. Do it
weird.
over a little. Yeah. 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 So here's the feeling. that. See how the foot and hip and knee or leg are staying back. The arm is going by. See how low the exit is.
And that face is much quieter.
It's just that exit alone.
Exactly.
I did kind of lift it to the top there, didn't I?
A little. There's a little bit of the shaft on that. But it's coming around. It's coming around.
Closer. Nice.
So you see your hands are,
Much lower.
Yeah.
that's more position 1.5 or 2. More around as opposed to when I was holding the club, it was just going.
Yeah.
So it changes the way I'm thinking about hitting it. It's
Yeah.
more left arm, left arm going orbiting, not going up or down or any
Going this way.
that way.
So it's going to feel ready. Watch.
So you can hold, I could hold it in place.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Totally.
And that's face back?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You see the space, the difference in the space between your arms, how this is more space and how that's less.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I'm almost stuck.
Right, totally. Yeah.
The right arm's behind you.
What do you like to see there?
The right forearm in line with the shaft like that. It's pretty close and just no space.
No space.
Or just the slightest. So I would say that's good.
And he's not. It doesn't seem like he's open with the hips.
It's-
There,
Totally. Totally.
So it's just a matter of making sure that I don't go steep in the top of the back, like the start of the downswing. Just got to keep it going.
Correct. Correct.
So is that lower
As well.
just shoulder retraction?
Yeah. It's a fixed. You're
Just go
still
from 1, 2, 3.
shoulder retraction plus the hip in the opposite direction.
That's the,
Pull your foot back up.
it's almost like a combination of wrench, too. Right?
That's right.
It's a combination.
Because the wrench is not stabilized.
Right.
It's actually doing that same
Yeah. There you go.
motion.
So I would take it as the bowler. The bowler.
Right.
Position 3, face back. If I had to summarize.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's a good one.
I'd do
Thank
some
you.
more, but I think we probably need to get inside.
Yep, understood.
Was a problem.
Post patterns in the woods.
Yeah, post patterns. So I thought, he did the knee flex and the tilts and the hand path and the external rotation real nice. Thought it was good. Didn't have to be that bouncy, but when he came down, we were talking about how much the shaft lowered. So it came down a little bit steep. And then the rate that it was falling back behind it was a lot. So you see how high that shaft is coming through. Look at the angled approach here. Look how shallow and how much out to the right that thing's going.
Yeah. It's at least 20.
It's a lot. So his arms here are like way behind his body. So you have a nice backstroke and then thrust his hips up underneath him and the lead arm would stay in position 0 across the chest. So there's a lot of the same practice that we were doing with Jess, releasing 1 and 4. But when you started releasing 1 and 4, you were just coming over,
Right.
right? So you would also notice coming down that your foot's coming off the ground, right? Trail foot. So this club is going out to the right. And that exit was ear, right? Ear. So okay. then I told you that the more you did that, you need the most radial and the most orbiting to keep the hook off those. There's guys who have some, not many, who have a high exit. Fred couples would be like in that category. Maybe not that high, but still, you know, in that neighborhood.
I used to, with the driver, I used to set my hands back a lot to keep the ball straight.
There you go. That would be an educated play. So we started doing the bowler drill. And the bowler drill was to help keep the shaft not as far behind him. So you see the amount that this shaft is falling. There it's starting to a little. See how there's a little bit of thrust of your arms pushing away. So you can see how that's less of a shift to the right, yes?
Yes.
So by the time we got to the finish, we were measuring the orbiting of the humerus around the rib cage. So I said this would be position 1, the humerus. And that this one is coming around more. I can sort of see your left arm
Looks like
or your left bicep more here. You can see the exit here is lower and right there. So your hands, remember your hands on the fall, here's the axis, the spine is the axis. Your hands are on this side of the axis more. Here they're hardly on around at all. So, what's going on? Not much. I'm just sitting here watching some swings. What you got going? There's some draws out there. Yep. 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 Does that work? Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, I'll fill it out now as soon as I get it. Give me a heads up. Perfect. It was going pretty good there for a bit last week, wasn't it? Yeah. Lost it a little. Yeah. Got it. Well, that was two good days for sure. There was a lot of fairways. I was impressed. Some good hitting. Yeah. 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 Yeah, do that. Yeah. Yeah. I was wondering how you were doing that. 'Cause Those stats were off the charts.
Good time to get the bowl.
Yeah, yeah. Like it.
Turn your right foot over.
Like it.
This? Out.
Well, we're grinding away. We're having camp.
You're trying to get in.
And I got camp this week, and I'll plan on coming up Monday, and I'll fill out that form, okay?
It should stay out.
All right, my man. See ya. Thanks for the call. All right, bye. Sorry, Ed.
Make sure you turn counterclockwise.
This thing
Yeah.
is going that way.
It should go that way, it's going the other way.
Oh.
Okay, so
Game changer.
this is essentially the bowler drill, the arm around, taking the lack of participation of the arm orbiting around you, which you had in the original swing. You were just really just jumping and tilting and lifting your arm up like this. Steve knows that one, right?
One question about when we were doing the drill,
Yeah.
we still saw the club fall even later in the downswing.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
thinking because
still-
of the steep.
Yeah,
Is it
there's-
because of the steep in the beginning?
Part of it, so that's where I'd say there's a little bit of internal rotation at the top. If I had a little bit longer, we'd make the plane a little bit more external, like this is shallower as opposed to going like, so it's coming down too steep and then it's going down to the bottom, it's going.
Right.
We want to even that out, wider.
So I would focus on,
But
not.
if you widen it out at the top, you've got to know how to bowl or get around, because we practice this too. If you get it really laid off at the top and then you jump, you're just lower.
Yeah.
It's just more underneath. So it's really widening it out on the backstroke so that it can come around, as opposed to having it steeper coming down and then backing out of it. Right. Right, so that's Aaron Badley's pictures where they're all real low with the shaft.
Okay.
But I wouldn't do that part until you want to start hooking again. I wouldn't lower, I would keep controlling the amount that it dropped. I'd keep controlling the droop.
Work on downswing.
Right.
Essentially.
Right. And
Being a
falling,
bowler.
downstroke and falling through. And that thing will start coming around like this. And you'll know when you've got it right, it'll start coming. When you've got the braking right, the identity of that steep shaft will show itself, because the club will start to come, if anything, over. And you'll start getting these little cuts. We went through that, right? It was like this for a while.
I'm not familiar with that shaft.
Yeah, kind of thick hits, shoves, and we practice the exit, and we go around. It'd get good for a second, and then after a little bit of practice, it'd start coming across.
So we can expect that to happen
Well,
pretty normal.
Yeah, you just know by the ball flight when to start focusing on the backswing.
Okay. It wouldn't be too bad to see a cut for a little while.
Yeah.
For about maybe one ball.